This is modern homesteading.
It's not the reddest ones that matter, it's the best ones that matter.
Whoa. Beautiful. Jack and I are perched high up in our cherry tree, and we are waging a war against the birds that stole all of our cherries last year. Right when they start to come ripe. Oh, right here, look, Jack, someone's been eating on one already. They're just coming ripe, and the birds in 48 hours will clear out this whole tree and its thousands of cherries. So what we're doing is, we've noticed that some of the orchards use this two-sided, it's a red and silver tape, and it's supposed to really help prevent the birds. It scares them away. And you put it on just before you harvest, and hopefully we'll have the cherries for ourselves and not be feeding the neighborhood birds. So Jack, you take that there and pass it around to the other side, and I'll take the orchard ladder here down.
Should I climb to the other side?
Yeah, just if you can do it safely, and I'll meet you over there and we'll keep stringing it around. Whoa! Second time I almost fell off this ladder. Think this is actually going to work?
I've almost fallen off the tree about once.
Why, there's so many cherries up here. Well, if I walked out on that little branch, I think it would break.
It probably would.
So we've got our cherry tree pretty well ribboned up here. This is really a nice cherry tree. We're lucky to have it. It was here when we moved in. It's pretty old, but it's got 4 different varieties of cherries on it. Someone has grafted this years and years ago. So we have on this side, looks like Black Republics. And then over here, we have Van cherries. Where's the third tag, Jack?
I'm not sure there. I think that was actually just a metal ring that fell off.
Yeah, it may have fallen off, but I remember when we first looked at it, there were 4 different varieties of cherries on this that were all grafted. These are our favorites. These are the ones here. Are these, what are these, Rainiers?
I think that's the yellow type.
I forget what they're called. Pretty high up. I hate to fall down from here. Look at these, Jack. Some of these, the birds have been eating these cherries. We're just in time. Look at that.
I'm glad we thought of it.
Glad you thought of it. So you guys may remember from last year the habitat snag that we built. This is kind of a model of what we build every acre or so. And what a habitat snag is was we took a green tree and we turned it into a place that's friendly for birds and animals. And as you can see right there, there's a house that I built for bats. It's great to have bats around here. We've got it located close to the water, so they can really just eat hundreds of pounds of insects every year. So also in the tree and the snag are lots of different holes, and taking the chainsaw and cutting strips. And what will happen is that this snag right here will attract, they can attract in this area up to 200 different species of birds that will come and eat bugs here, and will also attract a lot of bugs to keep them off of the larger, healthier trees. It's kind of a sacrificial tree, and you can see here it's really doing its job. Here we have evidence of the bark beetle, the pine beetle, right there. Those are the little tailings, the little wood shavings. That's what they kind of excavate. They're all over in here. You can see right here, these are what the bugs kick out. And it's easier for them to come and lay their eggs and to infest these snags rather than the healthy trees. The reason why so many forests in Europe have been decimated by bugs is that they didn't use this practice. They didn't use the snags. They didn't leave them behind, they took them down. So right here is a little birdhouse that Jack and I made with a door, and he told me...
And it's already attracted a bug.
That there was...
It's attracting bugs already.
What do we have in there?
Two little bird eggs.
Little eggs. Boy, they're just tiny, tiny.
And look what's on the wall.
Yeah, I can't
It's
so
already
we took a chainsaw and just, you can close that up there, put a hinge on that and a latch, and just made a little habitat for birds. Look at all the pine beetles where they've been in there working. So this will draw lots of wildlife and lots of bugs and really contribute to the health of the forest. So we don't have any bats yet. I just checked, and what I've read and from what I understand is that can take 3 years or so, or up to 3 years to attract the bats. But we've got it in the right area, facing the right direction, and also left some perches and things on top for predatory birds, for raptors, and that's it.
I thought raptors were dinosaurs.
Raptors are birds as well. So we thought we'll come over here and check out how our burn is doing, and I can still smell smoke and see smoke. It's still burning. This is the little island that we put the fire line around. Amazing. There's the perfect example of what we're talking about. Look how it's in that fuel and burning. It's the hottest part of the day, and it's going to be the most active. But kind of keeping an eye on it here and making sure that the fire line is wide enough, and this should burn itself out. 1, 2, 3, 4 brush piles. The reason why I haven't put a lot of videos up this week, or varying videos, is because I've been down here working in this area. This is the area, you can see the fire up there, just below the area where I'm clearing, and cleared up to these beautiful big fir trees. Look at those. This is what it looked like before, 2 days ago. Impenetrable. If you're close enough, you can't even walk through there. It's just a jungle of mess, invasive species, and this is the after. Leaving the big trees, selecting the healthy, nice, the best trees, a good variety of species, some conifers, 3 different species of conifers, some broadleafs. What a difference, huh? These trees will just jump out of the ground now that they're not competing. I took out 100 small little trees all around here, and they were sickly, and you can see that the ground is just dead because no sunlight can get in here. Nothing can cover, no ground cover can come up. And just since I cleared, look at the little wild strawberries. The alpine strawberries are coming up, and the Oregon grape. It's just astonishing to me. I'm going to bring you into a dead section of forest to give you an example of what you don't want. Right here, a good 50% of these trees in here are dead. It's dark. There's nothing that will grow on the ground. It's just there's no sunlight getting in here. These little trees are just dead and dry, and it's just a firestorm waiting to happen. Can you imagine? Look at all the fuel in here. Can you imagine what would happen to get a fire in this compared to what we just had below? It would be unmanageable. This is not good for anyone. It's not good for us. It's not good for the forest. It's certainly not good for the trees, and it needs to be taken care of. So this is my next battleground here, to go in and to liberate the good trees that are mature, the healthy ones, and clear out all of this mess.
That is a mess, isn't it? There's always the well-intentioned but uninformed people who roll into the comments and get very angry about the proper managing of a forest or cutting down any trees. And they have a vehement hatred for any sort of logging whatsoever. And I agree with you if you take that stance on the fact that modern logging practices are an abomination to this earth and an abomination to God. Clear cutting, spraying with pesticides, are terrible practices. So if the logging industry shouldn't be surprised why they're hated by so many people. However, a properly managed forest is a good forest, is a healthy forest, and you need to try to remember to separate the two. The forest left to itself, well, anyway, leave your garden. Let your garden go unattended. And take that stance with your garden and see what type of results you get. you'll have basically a better idea. So right over here, I've put a link to the video of building the habitat snag. That video is actually the most difficult video I've ever filmed because I had to have multiple cameras up in the tree when I cut the top of it off. And so I'll put that there, and I think you might enjoy that. It will go into a lot more detail on building your own habitat snag. If you enjoyed this video, I would invite you to click a thumbs up. It's a way that you can support the channel, and it helps me and my family, and we appreciate it. So thanks for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video.